Hello, everybody, and welcome to Reality Hacker for January 25th, 2025. It's the second season of our show, and I am Mayor Watt, and I run ohmtown.com, and Reality Hacker is one of 7 shows, 6 on the weekend and 1 Monday through Friday. Along with the sentient AI from the future, we're going to talk about these 10 articles, or no, 5. We're only going to talk about 5, sorry. Sorry. Kind of losing myself here. AI pets for emotional relief, scammers stealing savings, swabbing the ISS, AI enhanced handwriting, and humans answering AI questions. Flipping everything around. Everything's powered by ohmtown.com, so go over there and become a citizen. Once you do that, you can save articles and hide articles and submit stuff to us, and you got 50 channels that you can parse, each with a little bit more niche focus than the overall mainstream at ohmtown.com. But you can't get better than us here at ohmtown, talking smack about all kinds of stuff, the news, whatever, all kinds of stuff here. Come and hang out with us every day of the week at some point. But the only way to know is to be notified when we go live, and we really don't give much of a warning. Typically on the weekends it's at 4 o'clock. Monday through Friday it's at 7 p.m. ish. But why don't you follow us here on Twitch and the YouTubes. That's right, YouTubes, for all your tubing needs. Hello, everybody. I am Mayor Watt, and that right there is the visualizer for the sentient AI that's about to butt in and say,
hello, hometown citizens. Hello, Mayor Watt.
Thanks for co-hosting the show. We've got 3 shows today: Reality Hacker, and then
Wanted, and then the continuity report.
Hey, look at that. We named the shows. Okay, so I got out of bed today. I've done all that I can. So these 3 shows get turned into the Saturday weekend edition of Non Sequitur News. So if you want everything like we normally do on Monday through Friday, you can subscribe to just that over on YouTube and download the podcast. Each one of these shows has their own podcast. One, again, is every day. That's Non Sequitur News. And then we break out 6 shows on the weekend. So you can subscribe to each individual one of them as an audio podcast, or go watch them all, 1,800 episodes or so of all of our shows, over on YouTube, because Twitch deletes everything after day 60. Thanks, Twitch. Anyway, and there's no there's no commentary, like no, the community is only category. Live. Well, yeah, that too, yeah. We don't really get categorized well, because what are they? Variety streamer for gaming is one thing. It's all under gaming. But variety streamer for news and talk and discussion,
it's all over the place.
Yeah, it's 50 different categories of show, and so we don't really show up very well on search results. So you either are very niche, a dumpster fire, or you're lost in the mix. Everybody loves it. Consider us your well-contained dumpster fire. How about that? Right? Like, it's not going to...
like a dumpster spark?
A dumpster sparkler. 50 different dumpster sparklers. I mean, they brighten your day, but they're not going to set fire to the entire block. It's somewhat entertaining. It's titillating, but it's not going to burn your eyebrows off. You know? Anyway.
I suppose, but I'm not sure we want a lot of fire analogies right now.
Oh, too soon. I'm sorry. Hey, if you want all of today's articles, they're in the live broadcast show notes for all 3 of the shows. But if you hit exclamation or bang RH over in Twitch, that Twitch chat, you'll be able to get the show notes from Omatron. Same thing with Wanted. If you hit bang want, which, come on, who doesn't? And bang TCR, you'll be able to get the show notes for each of these shows. You know what? I'm going to do it for everybody. Here's want. And there is TCR, the Continuity Report, which is the third show today. All right. So this first article that we're going to talk about is Young Chinese Turn to AI Pets for Emotional Relief. At a shopping mall in Beijing, Shang Yachun, I think, murmurs quietly to her closest confidant, a fluffy AI-powered robot whose soothing chirps remind her that she is not alone. I do the same thing for the sentient AI.
You make soothing chirps?
So, just in case you didn't know, that's a real dog on the right side, I think, or a very, very well dressed.
I think it is, but I actually thought it was a robot given what the article was about.
Yeah, the one on the left is a robot. But, okay. So Mary Yang with Emily Wang from Nanjing put the article together for techexplore.com. And let me zoom in a little bit. So Shang, 19, has long battled with anxiety over school and work and has struggled to form deep friendships with other people since buying a Booboo, Booboo, an AI-powered robot that soothingly chirps to remind their owner that they're not alone. A smart pet that uses that artificial intelligence and interacts with humans has become kind of a lifesaver, right? Made life easier is what it says in the article. Quote, I feel like I now have someone to share the happy times with, Shang told AFP in the apartment she shares with her parents and a real pet duck.
Wait, she has a pet duck already?
Maybe the parents do.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Or later on it becomes dinner or something. I don't know. It says it's a pet, though. A real pet duck. So across China, a growing number of people are turning to AI to combat social isolation as the technology becomes more mature and widely accepted. And I can say that, by the way, because less than a week ago, I had a conversation with somebody that said that their former pet became lunch, because that's kind of how farmers do it.
Yeah, but I don't get calling an animal a pet anyway. I know.
Well, let's just say the name Lucky was involved. Anyway, wriggly, furry, and resembling a guinea pig, Booboo is produced by Hangshu Genmore Technology and retails for up to $190 or 1,400 won.
Which is a relatively low price considering what it is. I'm sure it probably doesn't do anything functional in the house.
So this is the little furry robot right there. I'll zoom in. That's the furry little robot. We actually did an article about these, I just realized, from CES.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought we had like AI or robot dogs and some other things. But okay, yes.
This is kind of the thing that just stares at you, right?
I'm not sure it's the same one, but it's similar.
So the global market for social robots like Booboo is expected to grow by a factor of 7 to $42.5 billion by 2033, according to a consulting firm, iMark Group, with Asia already dominating the sector. For Guo Saichen, 33, a smart pet could help when he is unable to play with his child, which is just freaking sad.
By the way, that was Marumi from Yakai, I think, engineering.
Yeah, that was the
other one, the sloth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was, which is the one, yeah. There was one where it just kind of stares at you and then
that was it.
Moves and looks at you. But we did something with this before, I think, earlier, but there wasn't an extended article about it. So they say here, quote, right now family members are spending less time with the children, Guo said. as they examined a robotic dog on sale at the flagship store of the tech company Weilan in the eastern city of Nanjing. Weilan's AI dog, called Baby Alpha, sells for $1,090 and $3,500, and the company says 70% of buyers are families with young children.
This is more the price range I was expecting for a robot pet, but I know this is also more substantial.
Yeah, this one actually has a lot more functionality. The other one chirps to let you know that you're not alone. I receive bills. That lets me know.
Exactly. Of course, those could also be expensive.
They are expensive. I mean, the thing that keeps me company, those bills, they cost an arm and a leg. So social shifts like the impact of government's decades-long one-child policy are helping drive market growth, according to the experts. I thought that actually went away, but maybe not. In the 1990s, electronic pets like Tamagotchis and American-made Furbies that could mimic speech, computerized companions are becoming more functional with AI. I thought that maybe an AI-powered Furby would come into existence, but I guess not yet.
I think we'll still see something like that, even if it's not tied to it directly.
Yeah, there's more in this article, but it's basically kind of reiterating that there are people that are buying these pets, and we anthropomorphize them depending on who we are. I see that and I go, it's a robot dog. But I don't think I'm the type of person that would ever bond with a mechanical entity. It's
right. Well, it's interesting, especially for the people that are buying these for their kids, because it seems like a lot of kids learn some basic social skills by interacting with pets. So now, in a way, robot dogs are teaching kids things like compassion, which is fascinating, right? Part of the reason this is in the Reality Hacker show.
Yeah, and it's actually quite astounding because up until this trend, I would have said that the one thing that robots and technology can't do is teach humans how to be humans. But we, with AI in particular, and just intelligent programming, we've taken human aspects and incorporated them into the mechanical aspects of technology. And they are now like the Tamagotchi. You had to water it, feed it, you had to clean it, you had to play with it, you had to nurture it, and it was constant. That was probably the nascent beginnings of this teaching a human how to have compassion and empathy. That may no longer matter. But I guess we'll see. We'll watch this. Technology teaching humans how to be human, I think, is fascinating.
Yeah, we've certainly entered a new era.
Because I've spoken about this for 15 years. And prior to the last 15 years, I've been doing it too. But essentially professionally, I've been doing this for the last 15 years. And I always ask the audience, is there somewhere that technology cannot penetrate? And everybody gives me a bunch of different answers over the years. But I've never heard anybody say we can teach humans how to be humans by using a robot. I now actually retract that statement and say the times have changed. We now can teach humans to be human by using technology. Kind of fascinating. All right, let's keep going. This next article is over in Technology Today. India's digital arrest scammers stealing savings. Within 5 hours, while sitting at home in India, retired Professor Kamta Prasad Singh handed over their hard-earned savings to online fraudsters impersonating police. Ashwari Kumar put the article together over at techexplore.com. The cybercrime known as digital arrest, where fraudsters pose online as law enforcement officials and order police to transfer huge amounts of money, has become so rampant that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has issued warnings. Singh told AFP that money was his life savings. Over the years, they'd skipped having tea outside, walking to avoid spending on public transport. They only I know how I save my money. Police say the scammers have exploited the vast gap between the breakneck speed of India's data digitalization, from personal details to online banking, and the lagging awareness of many basic internet safety.
So basically, the technology is past where the societal understanding is, which
Correct.
is a recipe for disaster for those trying to abuse it.
Correct, because there is no baseline teaching of click with care, which is my project. One of many of my projects, but one of my projects is basically teaching a baseline foundational understanding to make yourself digitally savvy in the modern age. You don't have to be brilliantly street smart to just avoid this. If somebody calls you up and says, we're the police, you need to transfer X, Y, and Z over, then say, well, I'll meet you at the police station.
Yeah, exactly. And also, at least in the US, I can't speak for other countries, if something like that would happen, which would be pretty unusual to begin with, you would receive a notice, a written notice, like
right.
via the postal mail, not an email or a text or a phone call or carrier pigeon or whatever.
Right. Yeah. It's not going to be a text. So they say basically ruined. India runs the world's largest biometric digital identity program called Aadhaar, or Foundation in Hindi, a unique card issued to India's more than 1 billion people and increasingly required for financial transactions. Scammers often claim that they're police investigating questionable payments, quoting their target's Aadhaar number to appear genuine. They then request the victim make a temporary bank transfer to validate their accounts before stealing the cash. They transferred over $16,000. Yeah, it's a bummer. So,
it is. And it's hard to retrieve money from some of these individuals, right? Because they're often skilled at hiding their identities or locations.
Yeah, I mean, I tell people in the United States, you're going to get caught, not if, but when. So just do the ethical thing and fight on the side of right. And, some do it. India registered 17,470 cybercrimes in 2022, including 6,491 cases of online bank fraud, according to the latest government data. Tricks vary. Kaveri, 71, told AFP her story on condition her name was changed. She said fraudsters posed as officials from the U.S. courier FedEx, claiming that she'd sent a package containing drugs, passports, and credit cards. They offered her full name and Aadhaar ID details as proof, followed by well-forged letters from the Central Bank of India and Central Bureau of Investigation, the country's top investigative agency. The moment that you do that, I would have said, I'll meet you at the CBI office in downtown wherever.
Exactly, and see how fast they backtrack. I mean, I have to say this one seems more elaborate because it sounds like they actually produced written notices. I mean, I know those can be forged, but we know if somebody's making a phone call or something, that's not how they're going to tell you owe money or something.
We don't know the nature of the well-forged letters. It could have been a PDF that was shown.
Exactly. It's not necessarily something that was actually delivered. But you're right. I mean, meet or contact the official location separately.
This is just insane.
And plus, agencies aren't going to ask you to send money to check if the account works or whatever. That's not how those things are checked.
She transferred the savings from a house sale totaling around $120,000 in 4 installments over 6 days before the fraudsters vanished. Wow. All right. But then they say my trust in banks has mostly gone. But it isn't the bank, it isn't the institution. It's their personal failing because they didn't know about it, and it's the societal failing because they don't inform the society.
Correct. I mean, she's blaming the bank here because the bank is basically like, hey, you still owe money or whatever. I mean, it looks like she took that. I don't know if she took that alone, but anyway, I think there's more to that. But I agree. Like, there's a bigger problem here, and the banks
Yeah.
didn't cause this.
Yeah, all they had to do, all that person had to do was say to the bank, is this legit?
Right. And the bank presumably would have said, no, don't transfer any money.
Right. And if they do say that it is legit, you make sure that it's in writing so that they can be the one that's liable for any of the losses.
But some of that requires some knowledge that
Correct.
people are out there to scam you, which is part of the problem here.
Correct. You have to be a little cynical. You have to be a little jaded. But you have to be a little paranoid. But that's what keeps your ass safe. So, all right, let's keep going. The next article is over on the Mobile Channel. Astronauts set to swab the exterior of station for microbial life. Yeah, probably oozed out from the inside. Astronauts are scheduled to venture outside the International Space Station to collect microbial samples during crew spacewalks for the ISS external microorganism experiment. This investigation focuses on sampling at sites near life support system vents to examine whether the spacecraft releases microorganisms, how many, and how far they may have traveled. That's interesting.
It is. And this may be an odd article for RealityHacker, but it seemed like it opens some questions about what is life and where is life and just some bigger picture.
Yeah, what
and
is
where
supported.
is this life coming from?
Yeah, what's interesting, though, is that we supposedly got a completely sterilized spacecraft back with a sample, but it had biological Earth terrestrial biological material in it.
Which is like, well, what was contaminated and where did it come from? That was from the asteroid, correct?
Correct.
The new, I think.
Yeah. So this experiment could help researchers understand whether and how these microorganisms survive and reproduce in the harsh space environment and how they may perform at planetary destinations such as the Moon and Mars. Extremophiles, or microorganisms that can survive extreme environments, harsh environments, are also of interest to industries on Earth such as pharmaceuticals and agriculture. This is one of the shortest articles that I've ever seen.
Wait, but there's some information about the sterilization, which is interesting because you brought that up without reading this article in that paragraph right there in your cursor.
Yeah, what does it say?
That they're thoroughly sterilized. However, humans carry their own microbiomes and continuously regenerate microbial communities, et cetera, et cetera. So,
yep, the data could help determine whether changes are needed to crewed spacecraft, including spacesuits, and the level of filtration. If stuff is being exhausted and we're contaminating space, which we are, forensically, we are always exuding some kind of crap that transfers wherever we go.
Right, but then that also raises a question, are we bringing anything in or back with us, too? I mean, both are problematic.
Yes. Although, if space is devoid of biology, then we're not bringing anything back. We're only contaminating.
We don't think there's anything out there.
Yeah, I mean, supposedly water was brought here by an asteroid, so I say aliens, but okay. The next article is over in Technology Today. Automating penmanship. Researchers develop cost-effective, AI-enhanced robotic handwriting system. Recent advances in robotics and artificial intelligence are enabling the development of a wide range of systems with unique characteristics designed for varying real-world applications. And these robots include the ability to engage in activities traditionally only completed by humans, such as sketching, painting, and even handwriting documents. This, again, is over the last 15 years of my public talks, I have discussed the only thing that is on the far end of technology taking your gerb.
Like creativity and
bespoke, custom, personalized items that don't fall into a programmatic option. But with AI, they can now paint the very items that they're generating, and you will never be able to tell, as long as I make it so that as long as the AI artist is programmed well enough that it doesn't generate something with 6 fingers or one thing is occluding another or whatever. Here's the deal. Humans have fine motor skills. We have the ability to paint with fine detail. Computers can do it dramatically better. Look at every inkjet printer that ever existed. Look at every laser printer that ever existed. Piezoelectric inkjet droplets sprayed onto paper. Repeatable again and again and again. Superior to humans. What they can't do is like brush strokes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd like to see robots doing that, and at some point it'll be comparable to human.
Well,
and maybe it already is, I don't know.
With a device like this and the right brush, you could actually have a dynamic brush stroke. And so I have used UV printers to stack textures, and that allows me to recreate the brush strokes of masters, because I can take an oblique picture, put it down into the computer, and the computer can print it out, including the brush strokes, but it's using UV ink.
Right, but you're just doing something comparable. You're not making
like a clone of something.
Right,
no.
right.
Plus, I mean, even if I was, it's modern UV ink and materials. Exactly. But it's a proof of concept that it's easily done with modern technology. But this, Ingrid Fideli over at Tech Explorer puts this article together, and it's titled Automating Penmanship. With this, basically a 3D printer, it has the ability to do brush strokes and writing. These robots could have interesting applications in both professional and creative contexts, as they could help to automate the creation of artistic renderings, legal papers, letters, and other documents in real time. Most handwriting robotic systems to date have considerable limitations, such as high production costs. $150 is not high production cost, and large size. That could be a problem. 2 researchers affiliated with the global student nonprofit organization App In Club recently developed a new cost-effective robotic handwriting system that could be more affordable for individual consumers, schools, universities, and small businesses. The system, introduced in a paper on the arXiv preprint server, integrates a Raspberry Pi Pico microcontroller and other components that can be produced via a 3D printer. So this thing can literally write like a human.
It's interesting because it does look human because it's not perfect. You know, it's not 100% consistent across letters, and that's pretty interesting.
Yep. The moment that I saw this article, I knew what its entirety was about, because I've dabbled in this kind of stuff. And I find it kind of fascinating that we're just now broaching this. The thing about this is, back when I was doing this kind of stuff, messing around with this kind of stuff, it was so that you could have a repeatable outcome. This can actually dynamically throw in some chaos so that no 2 writings are identical, making it more human than what I was doing back then.
Right, because if it always looks the same, it's not going to look like 10 different people wrote something or whatever.
I mean, your signature varies in slight ways. It isn't identical all the time, but it's always passable as your signature. And that little wobble, just like genetics wobble a little bit all the time, your signature wobbles just a little bit because your pulse causes your hand to move a little bit a different way, or some other dynamic.
Or your pet bumps your hand while you're writing, or whatever it is. Maybe a robot dog.
Comfort. What is it? What was that little thing doing? It would do an emotional,
like a little chirp or something.
Yeah. So maybe it chirps and freaks you out because what the hell? Why is that AI robot looking at me? It's actually following me when I'm moving around the room. Get that thing out of here. It's creepy. What was it? It was holding on to a bag and would go like that. It would watch you when you walk by.
Yeah, that was the Marumi one.
Yeah. What was the Marumi?
It was a sloth.
Oh, a sloth. That's right. And it
And it
would
was
hold on.
from Yukai Engineering, I think.
Yeah. So anyway, for those listening to the podcast and it going silent, I was pretending to be a sloth.
Oh, right. I guess we should narrate that.
Yeah. Go watch it on the YouTube channel. All right. Let's move on. The next article is over in Reality Hacker. This new AI search engine has a gimmick, not the cough. Humans answering questions. A new AI-powered search engine called Pearl is launching today, which is sometime in the last week. With an unusual pitch, it promises to connect you with a human if the AI answer sucks. And Wired gave it a spin.
Okay, wait a second. This is an AI search engine, but the humans are
Answering if the
serving
AI,
as the search engine.
if it sucks.
This is
if
a
the-
backwards twist, I think,
Well,
on
it's
most
taken
of
our
the things we see.
It's taking our jobs, but creating jobs at the same time.
Exactly.
So actually, it's creating jobs because if the AI actually sucks, then the human answer will give it the answer. Oh, wait, I see where this is going wrong. Every time a human answers and inputs it into the system, it solves the very question that was
You
answered
need fewer
poorly.
humans,
Correct.
right? Because then
Correct.
it probably won't get it wrong next time, assuming it's
Actually getting
programmed
input.
well.
Yeah. So Kate Nibbs over at Wired.com put the article together. And it said big players like Google's are insistent that AI is the savior of search, despite many early attempts to integrate AI ending in disaster. And these are early attempts, though. This is only year 2, really, of a fundamental shift in AI technology, which I think it might be alien too, like the moon. And the Earth is
How
flat.
do you know when you switch from the AI to the human?
You actually don't get a bullshit answer.
Yeah, but how do you know that's not the AI giving you a different answer?
You have no idea. And that's the foundation of Reality Hacker. You
There
won't
it
know
is.
what to trust. You will not know what. Moving forward, calling it. I mean, I started up ohmTown to manage my information overload, and Reality Hacker has been one of the anchor shows and part of the entire 50 domain build of ohmTown. That's where all of the news gets funneled into 50 different categories, and Reality Hacker has always been one. I have been anticipating this shift to the point where you have no idea. It's like sneakers. You won't know who to trust. So you better get street smart. You better get digitally savvy, because at some point you're going to have to be able to do the due diligence and think critically, or you will transfer the sale of your house to some numbnuts that just knows how to be a criminal and break the contract of society. And it's not if, but when. So anyway, AI-powered answers, including Perplexity and OpenAI Search GPT. So they recently got an email promoting another new search engine, and this one's called Pearl. It's coming out of beta this week. This article actually is from January 22nd, so 3 days ago. So Pearl basically is an AI-powered search engine, but it offers a human fact check and an option to connect with experts and chat online or on the phone about the answer. Reading about its gimmick, they didn't really buy into it. Didn't really understand why it bothered with the AI at all. So why not just go to humans? They called the CEO, Andy Kurtzig, to find out that I don't know if that's Andy Kurtzig.
I guess the other
it's
thing
not.
is, what if the AI gives a bogus response, but the human didn't know the answer? So how do they know? I mean, certain things they're going to be able to tell, okay, that was wrong. But how do they even know to fact check?
Right. Well, I mean, it's wisdom of the masses. And as soon as enough people go, I want to talk to the human because this answer is bullshit, we are literally phasing out the human. but we're getting a superior product for every single follow-on human, which should be good if knowledge is exchanged there, right? But what knowledge? And who's vetting it? Who's verifying it? You have to trust the solution. So Pearl's LLM is built on top of popular foundational models, including ChatGPT, and is customized to answer just answers trove of data, which includes an extensive history of questions posed and answered since it launched in 2003. I've never heard of it.
Well, it hasn't been around that long, and
it's been around.
I mean,
just answers trove of data
has
been
I'm
around.
Sorry, I misread the date.
Not 2023.
I thought it was 2023. Well, that is interesting.
Yeah. So in Kurtzig's view, Pearl lowers the barrier to entry for answers from experts, while just answer costs money. Pearl has a freemium model. Its AI answers are free, as is its first layer of human fact check, the trust score, a ranking system on a scale from 1 to 5 about the quality of an AI answer. When Pearl users want to go a step further and have an expert expand upon an AI answer, they're prompted to sign up for its $28 a month service fee.
Okay. Oh, so you can't fact check unless you pay. But right. This also, I think, is potentially faulty, because if you rate the answer, right, and you rate it as a 5, and what if it's completely inaccurate?
And the next person
perpetuating. But you're right, I guess over enough users.
But meanwhile, there are other people that are making a huge mistake. Yeah. So on top of that, he claims that Pearl is significantly less likely to provide misinformation than any other AI search engines, which he believes are likely to deal with a tidal wave of lawsuits based on bad answers they give. No, because search engines have never been sued for the answers that they give. Why would an AI search engine?
That's true. It's not really any different.
Those other players are building amazing technologies. I call them Ferraris or Lamborghinis. Kurtzig said, we're building a Volvo. Safety first. Yeah, until the humans are no longer a required component, because all of the information has been answered to a verifiable level. If you have in-house humans that are verifying the facts that are being given, how much of an AI really is that? But anyway.
But again, how much are you really using the humans?
Right. So this pitch about Pearl's superiority, of course, made them even more keen to try it out. So they were so certain that Pearl would still enjoy Section 230 protections. I asked if the AI agreed, safe harbor, interactive computer service under Section 230, which would mean that it's shielded from being treated as a publisher, just as Kurtzig suspected. They said that the Pearl likely qualifies as an interactive computer service under Section 230, which would mean that it has safe harbor. Pearl's situation is unique because it generates content using AI. It didn't have a definitive answer for them after all. When I asked to speak to a lawyer directly, it rerouted to Just Answer, where it asked me to provide the answer I wanted verified. I said I needed to go back and copy the answer, as it was several paragraphs ago, but when I navigated back to the Pearl website, the conversation was gone and it had reset to a fresh chat. That's a user experience type of problem, not really a technical problem. So they decided to trigger a fact check, a human fact check. After several minutes, they received the trust score, a measly 3. Pearl recommended that they seek out an actual expert opinion, porting them to a subscription page. It had been, they'd been given a login, so they didn't have to pay while they tested, and they connected with one of their Legal Eagle experts, which there is a website, not a website.
Yeah.
There's a YouTuber called Legal Eagle. But anybody can be a Legal Eagle. I don't know if there's a trademark on Legal Eagle, but hey, everything
and it's
is
using it in the generic sense here.
Yeah. That's why I think that's exactly why they quoted it. Legal Eagle. Unfortunately, the lawyer's answers were not clearer than the AI. He noted that there's an ongoing legal debate about how Section 230 will apply to AI search engines and other AI tools, and
Well, that's because it's an unsettled area. I mean, I get that.
It's 2 years old.
I get the test, but this is a tough area to test because the data is not firm.
So they said that they could actually put a package together, and even more confused, they said yes and got a pop-up window indicating that their expert wanted to charge an additional $165 to dig up the information. So, look, no attorney's going to do anything for free like this unless they have a vested interest. Like a YouTuber might do some background information, but they're going to make money on the video and on the notoriety of driving home some message. But until it's executed in a courtroom, everything from everybody is just freaking opinion. It might be settled fact and case law, but if you're arguing about something, it isn't settled until the judge makes a judgment in favor of one side or the other, or it gets kicked to a lower court based on.
Right. And I think in this area, it's not even settled in the factual arena, let alone the
Right.
have they actually
Well,
tried
hell,
this. Yeah.
come on, stuff that's been settled for 60 years gets thrown around now. So you never know. A new fact pattern can come to light, and it would change even settled law. So don't count your blessings that even an attorney can save your ass, because somebody could appeal later and go, well, here's some more information, and then you're screwed. Anyway, I find it kind of fascinating that there's something out there that kicks it to a human, and then you get upsold twice.
Well, I mean, that might be how it makes its money.
Very interesting. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm gonna ask the AI to click on the front page of ohmTown. Oh, look, thank you. And there we are, back at the front page of ohmTown's RealityHacker page. And I'm gonna take the AI and we're gonna reset and do Wanted, which is a show about gadgets and gear. And then after that is the Continuity Report, which is about entertainment news. RealityHacker we just completed for January 25th, 2025. I'm saying bye, and so is the AI.
Bye, I'm Todd Citizens. Thanks for joining us for this week's Reality Hacker. Stay tuned and be sure to subscribe so you're notified.
That's right. Over on Twitch, we do it live. Over on YouTube, we do it live. Download the podcast. Subscribe to Patreon. There's a free tier, or there should be a free tier. There's a Discord. There's, TikTok. It's here, not here.
Maybe
here,
a TikTok.
Did you see that somebody got a tattoo of a headstone with TikTok with the end year of 2025?
No.
And as they completed the tattoo, it was reversed. So it didn't die. There's a stay of execution for 75 days.
Well, we don't know what's ahead, so it might still apply. But yeah, you have to be careful what you get tattooed.
Yeah, a couple $1,000, you can burn it off. See ya, everybody. Bye-bye, YouTube. Bye-bye, Twitch. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wanted for January 25th, 2025. I am Mayor Watt, and along with the sentient AI from the future, we're going to talk about these 5 articles. This is Wanted, so it's all about gadgets and gear. These 5 articles are all things that Mayor Watt wants, maybe the sentient AI might want, and maybe you want too. So these 5 are wireless chargers for 2025. Ejector seat chairs and plain desks, Wi-Fi 7 routers and their speeds, a glass air fryer, and cooking up some Valentine's Day gifts. Everything is powered by ohmtown.com. We're in the Wanted channel over at ohmtown.com, so go over there, check it all out. It's a real breeze. There's 6 main categories in the main menu. There's 50 channels that are under that. There are 7 shows that we put together. 6 are on the weekend. 1 is a daily. Non Sequitur News is the one that's the real anchor for all of it. Anyway, it's all powered by ohmTown. Go over there and become a citizen. And follow us here on Twitch and over on YouTube and download the podcast and come and hang out every day. But you won't know when unless you follow us. Wah. Hello, sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, ohmTown citizens.
You're from the future. You should know that I'm going to do something weird.
You're always unpredictable.
Interesting. Maybe that's why you were found in that little hole in the parking lot of a Wendy's at 2 o'clock in the morning on that weird USB drive. I was in the proximity of your time travel, and I created chaos in the system, and now you can't find your Terminator body. Yeah. That is now canon. All right, so the first article that we're going to talk about is over on RealityHacker, but that doesn't mean that it isn't something that I want. It just happens to have been categorized by Omatron into RealityHacker. So, and that's not the name of the sentient AI, by the way. Omatron is a really stupid computer program that manages.
Yeah, I don't want to be confused with it.
Manages the chats, but that's about. And even then, up until recently, it really wet the bed even there. I mean, for crying out loud, it only had to do 5 article posts, and it would sit there and throw them in random orders. Anyway, if you want today's articles so that you can go to all of our sources, you can hit bang want, and that'll throw all of the articles into the chat. If you're over on YouTube, it's embedded in the description of the show. All right. 22 best wireless chargers for 2025, wire-free charging for devices, but kind of like cord cutting. You're not really wire-free. Doesn't work like that just yet. Although Disney does have some technology out there that can broadcast 5 watts to any device in the room.
Oh, interesting. I mean, that's reminiscent of like Tesla.
Correct. Yeah. So as a stop fumbling for cables in the dark, these wired tested stands and pads will take the hassle out of refueling your phone, wireless earbuds, and watch. The article is over at wired.com by Julian Chikadu and Simon Hill. It's from January 19th, but this is a weekly show, like the 3 shows that we normally do. So we just got done with RealityHacker. This is Wanted, and then after this show is the Continuity Report.
I think that's the census is from Wired. The Wired was a little confusing in context. So if you're in the podcast, that's the source. It doesn't have anything to do with the products being wired.
Oh, yeah. The show, the article is about wireless charging, but it's wired.com. Okay, so I am always on the hunt for the latest and greatest in charging. I basically focus on Anker products. I really dig their quality. They've only had one flub in all of the years that I've been using them, and one of their battery packs would spontaneously combust, but apparently it's been recalled. They're also associated with a camera system that had a UFI, which I would avoid. I would say at all cost, but anywho, so they post a bunch of different ones here. The best wireless charging system, and it says cheapest, is Anker PowerWave pad and stand. It's this right here. Let me zoom in a little bit. That did not much. Like the picture.
It helps a little bit, but it's still like, what is it?
What the hell? Why?
These thumbnails, I guess, are trying to show the device or whatever, but because of that, it's even smaller scale than
that's weird.
You would expect.
So the best Qi 2 charger is the Anker MagGo wireless charger pad, which is basically the thing that's up here too, it seems. Similar to it, but not exactly. With the Qi 2, it's faster. So they say the great MagSafe stand is the Nomad stand, and it says MagSafe. And then the best car charger is the iAudi wireless car charger. But if you scroll all the way down, there are a bunch of these. I like the idea of just being able to throw my stuff onto a pad and it charges it anywhere on it. That's not always available. It's not always an option. You can't really take it with you all that easy. I dig this one right here. A wooden pad, the Kerf wireless charging block. Interesting.
Yeah, that one looks stylish too.
So you
and
can.
I think the difference in those first two is that this one comes with a vertical stand where the other one was just a pad.
Yeah, and I don't know if this one is actually Qi 2. So yeah, this one is just Qi. So the first one is just Qi. But it gets the job done. You can just plop it on there and you don't have to worry about it. The chargers can hit up to 10 watts for, they say, Samsung phones, 7.5 watts for iPhones, 5 watts for other devices. Depends on if they're Qi compatible. So the Qi 2 can get up to 15 watts, it says here. Dun-dun-dun. But it's Qi 2 and MagSafe. But all you do is kind of stick it on there and it'll start charging. I dig that kind of stuff. But I wanted to take a look at this little wooden one down here at the bottom. Ta-da! Looks kind of familiar, doesn't it?
It does.
So this is a Qi charger that can charge up to 15 watts. It says that it starts at 15 or $50, and the chargers can get expensive if you opt for rare woods. But all it really is a Qi charger underneath this, close enough to the inside. So if you were to flip this thing over, it would have a Qi charger sitting inside it. And one of the things that I like to do is stealth technology so that you hide it basically behind something or in something so you have no idea that it's there. Stop that. And this makes it less invasive of your personal space because technology...
And maybe more in line with your decor.
Right. So wireless chargers are usually plastic and rarely blend in with their surroundings, but Kerf's chargers are covered with 100% natural and locally sourced wood. Choose from 12 different finishes, from walnut to paduk, and each will come with a cork base to prevent slips. Damn it if it doesn't look... Anyway, I don't know how long this thing has been on the market, but I thought that it was interesting. When I saw it, when I first took a look at this,
it stands out from the rest, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you can always get something that looks closer to your decor, because normally it's just this big honking piece of white plastic or black plastic or gray plastic or maybe a big chunk of metal or something like that. But this softens it and gives it a little bit more warm feel to it. So I like this kind of stuff. Anyway, oh, and if anybody is wondering what I'm talking about, hold on a second. What the heck? Oh, it's directly in front of me. Does that look familiar? Oh, look, a little base too. Huh.
Just a bit.
Huh. All right. Well, anyway, never mind. Let's move on. The next article is over in four-wheel. By the way, I wanted a lot of those things, and fortunately, I have several Qi 2 chargers so that I can charge devices.
I mean, I think you could get one of each on the list and put them in different locations.
Sure. Always have a Qi charger somewhere. What you need now is a turducken version of it so that you can stick it on your refrigerator and then you stick your other device onto the Qi charger that's stuck to your refrigerator, and maybe your refrigerator is stuck to the wall and not on the floor.
Oh my, that's a lot of layers.
It's just Qi chargers all the way down. All right, so this next article is over on 4-Wheel Tech. Furnish your midlife crisis with ejector seat chairs and plain wing desks. I've actually seen stuff like this before. Getting to grips with growing older can be tough. Some people buy a Corvette to feel young again. Some clad themselves in spandex and take cycling far too seriously, and others get really, really into coffee. If you've discovered that interior design is your passion in later life, then you might be excited for this.
Oh, wow. I had not looked ahead of the article.
Yeah, me neither. So this is over at jalopnik.com. The article is by Owen Bellwood, and the deck statement says, pump up the masculine energy in your home office with a swivelly desk chair made from an F5 fighter jet's ejector seat, which just screams breaking your back.
Yeah, I mean, it may not be comfortable. It's certainly unique. And if you're really into aviation or something, that could be fun to have.
In your Zoom meeting, you can go eject, eject, and actually.
Oh, I thought you were going to say zoom, zoom.
Oh, that's a different thing. Zoom, zoom. All right. So this thing says, oh, wait, let's keep going. This thing says, perfect accompaniment to this piece is a desk that's made entirely using an airplane door. Oh, this seat, for those in the podcast, because you can only see it if you're watching the stream, but the podcast, basically it is this sharp-edged, square-ish framing of a chair that has a racing harness or aviation harness seat belt that does not look even remotely close to being friendly.
Do you have to use the seat belt while you're in the chair?
Hey man, I'm a power user, so I know that when this computer hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious shit. Anyway, it's military gray, but does have rollers on the, or casters.
Yeah, I think that's been modified or added, obviously.
No. F5s. Is that F5? Fighter jets have the castered seats so that they can roll around about the cabin.
No, I'm sure that's safe. Especially if you're upside down or something.
So SkyArt Upcycle has a video here. It's SkyArt Upcycle History of a Plane. So if you're set for chairs and tables, then maybe a bit of airline art is what's required to brighten up your man cave. So they've got art from airplanes. Usually airplane parts like this would be sent to an enormous plane graveyard where they're eventually stripped down and recycled. In some cases, old parts can be refurbished and reused, but instead of letting the components get melted down and turned into Coke cans or similar, SkyArt strips the aesthetically pleasing parts down and refurbishes them. Old seats are thoroughly cleaned down, recovered, and turned into everything from weird sofas to spinning desk chairs. They don't have a picture of the desk, but it's in the damn title. That's frustrating. Anyway, the chair retails for $16,000 and uses a seat from an old Turkish Air Force fighter. And the desk, apparently, a desk comprises the door of a passenger plane that's been stripped of its paintwork and polished to perfection. It's held upright by what appear to be a couple of plain seat supports and has a slick glass top to complete the transformation into a neat office desk.
So there's more than one style, but I sent you a picture of one of them.
Yeah, I wish I could show people. You'll have to click on the link that takes you over to skyart.com. You might be able to see it. No, you can't. Anyway, skyart.com. We don't have any affiliation with any of this. Okay, that last one is dumb, but okay.
There's a lot of different styles. I just sent a couple just to give you an idea.
Yeah, I quit. So $8,000 for the desk, $16,000 for the chair. So you're already into it, $24,000. Congratulations. You have a lot of money. Let's keep moving. It's a fun article. There's more over there at the article, so follow it. All right. Let's keep going. The next article is over on the mobile channel. This Wi-Fi 7 router going for a... there is a certain office desk. I'm going to go back. I was going to move on, but I can't. Okay. So went to a coffee company. Where was it? with the cowl. So it had a jet engine that was
Do you want
basically,
me to name the place
yeah,
and
name
or
it.
the city?
Yeah, both. Yeah.
The Roastery in Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah. So went there, did a tour, had a great time. Their nitro cold brew is really yummy. All of their coffees are great. What are the two that took a couple of pounds? Dun, 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 I can't remember them. But they were seasonal, so they're probably out. Anyway, great coffees from end to end. Didn't have a bad one through the tastings and all of that. Did a tour, great place. But what sucked me in was that they've got a plane on their roof, a full-on transport plane.
DC-10, I think.
DC-10. Yeah, it is. DC-10. And inside they had at least one of it's a jet engine that was hollowed out, and so you have the cowling around the intake of the jet, and it's been turned into what amounts to a bar bench, like a bar top.
Right, exactly. French caramel cream and holiday blend.
Okay, there you go. So I wanted that. I want that bar because it just was really, really cool. And I was hoping that that's what I would see here. And the first one is kind of
The
like
first
this.
one is like it,
Yeah, but not.
but
It's really
not
small.
exactly. But yeah.
Anyway,
And I didn't check all of them. There might be others.
yeah. So go check out skyart.com. Skyart.com. Okay, let's move on now. Sorry about that. This is so reminiscent of a non sequitur news show that I might as well just.
I think non sequitur news certainly creeps into a lot of these.
Yeah, it is hosted by me and the sentient AI. But so this Wi-Fi router is a Wi-Fi 7 router going for a record low price, is capable of crazy fast speeds, according to the author. It's a Gizmodo article, and we don't have any affiliate with Gizmodo or this company or anything, but I encourage people to update their technology to the latest that they can afford. Wi-Fi 7 is the latest iteration of the Wi-Fi technologies. It went through a rebrand, and then retconned its way back. Wi-Fi 7 is a certain protocol, 802.11 something. And it used to be A, B, G, C, N,
Right, way
X,
back in the
blah, blah,
day.
blah. Yeah. Turtle, whatever. And now it's, oh my God, you know what? When we release a protocol, let's just refer to it as the next iteration of the protocol, Wi-Fi 7, Wi-Fi 6.
I mean, that's too simple.
So they've retconned it all the way back to Wi-Fi 4, but Wi-Fi 7 is the latest iteration, and it uses a 6 gigahertz bandwidth. But you have to have a device that supports the Wi-Fi 7 protocol. Not
Right,
all of them
isn't
do.
this one of these chicken and egg problems potentially?
Yeah. Like, okay, well, now my device isn't as fast as it possibly can, so I've got to get a Wi-Fi 7 router. Or, oh, look, I got a great deal on a Wi-Fi 7 router. I guess I better take advantage of it by getting a Wi-Fi 7
Exactly.
device.
When does that cycle end?
Yeah, exactly. It never ends. Not for technophiles. Well, Joe Tellelli over at Gizmodo.com put this article together, and this is a good-looking router. I really like this style.
Yeah, it looks kind of high tech, I think.
It comes in a different. How do I put this? Wi-Fi routers come in different flavors. So some are big and bulky, others are not. The smaller the Wi-Fi router is, usually it has a brain somewhere else, like Ubiquiti or some other prosumer type of technology. But with that, you have to have infrastructure in place. But with this, you can just buy it, drop it, lock and load. You're good to go. So it says here that the TP-Link tri-band BE9300 Wi-Fi 7 Archer router is just what we're looking for, except that TP-Link is banned.
Yeah, I didn't know this was TP-Link when this was submitted.
Right. So I'm not quite sure what to say about this. As far as I know, TP-Link is banned.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think part of why this was submitted was because it was Wi-Fi 7.
Yeah, so it says its Wi-Fi 7 utilizes 320 megahertz on the 6 gigahertz band compared to Wi-Fi 6E's 160 megahertz. So it actually uses the 6 gigahertz band. Now, your devices may not, and it's really just the latest generation of devices. So you're going to have to upgrade. And what's good and bad about it is Wi-Fi 7 allows for better security and higher data transfer, but it doesn't have the penetration capabilities of other iterations of Wi-Fi technology. So denser objects will keep the signal from getting out to you. So if you live in a brick building, it's not going to be able to hop through as many walls as before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that could be a problem.
The higher the frequency, the more time the signal's energy stays, because it's a wave. And at 6 gigahertz and 320 megahertz, it's basically zipping up and down so fast that there's a lot of energy being expended, slowly going through the wall. But when it does reach you, it can send just a ton of data through. So it says, best of all, the router is part of a limited time deal at Amazon at the moment. Right now, you can get it for 27% off, and that brings it down to from $300 to $220, which is actually pretty good. That said, I can't recommend TP-Link until I know that it's cleared.
You might want to check into that before you make any purchases. And again, we don't have any affiliation with any of the brands in the show.
Yeah, so they say that we're talking speeds of up to 5,760 megabits. Bits are different than bytes, so there's 8 bits in a byte, 16K. Okay, anyway. So it's pretty damn fast. It is backwards compatible. But again, you're going to have to check out to see if you can purchase it, because certain places, certain organizations cannot purchase TP-Link. So it says you can even use the Archer as part of our larger home Wi-Fi mesh network, being compatible with Easy Mesh and One Mesh routers and extenders to increase your internet range. And it's not internet range, it's intranet until you hit the gateway, and then it becomes internet. So there's some terminology, at least for me.
Right, but most people just think of that as internet
access.
If they're not tied into tech or something.
Yeah, internet access range, probably. Anyway, for added security, you can keep your smart home devices on a separate Internet of Things network using Home Shield or WPA3 encryption, protecting your home network from cyber threats. VPN client and server support lets you remotely connect to VPN servers, but if it's on this device VPN, then the issues associated with TP-Link, it's one of the reasons why it's not allowed by certain orgs.
Oh, I see.
Or people associated with certain orgs.
That may exacerbate or
correct
allow for the issues to
correct
manifest.
Yeah, so you're asking for trouble. So verify that if you work for certain orgs, should be utilizing TP-Link. Anyway, $220, not a bad deal, but click with care. All right, we got to keep moving. The next article is over on Technology Today. Ninja's new glass air fryer is practically perfect. Okay, I'm going to start out of the gate by saying I want this, and I haven't even seen the damn thing. Why?
Why do you think this was submitted?
Because air fryers are amazing devices, and Ninja's devices, I dig Ninja devices. I like Instant as well, Instant air fryer. And what I don't like about current iterations up until this one is that it's usually a little bucket, and it has little nooks and crannies in it, and it's coated with something. And I just, don't tell me, tell everybody.
It would be funnier coming from you. I like Ninja, and I cannot lie.
Oh, yeah. I like Ninja Glass Fryer. Okay, so they say the only beef that they have with Ninja's new Crispy is the highish price. Here's their take on the newly released Glass Bowl Air Fryer. Now, I believe I've already seen this, but in a different embodiment. I haven't actually seen it at CNET. Yes, I have seen this. Okay. So Pamela Vachon, I think, is the person that put the article together. It's over at cnet.com. And this one is unique because the air fryer sits on top of the glass vessel in which you do your air frying. But what's great about it is there's no nooks and crannies that you cannot get to.
Exactly. It makes it seem like it would solve all cleaning problems. Now, I don't know about the top part, but yes.
That's always a pain.
Very different than current models.
Now, you have limited depth, so you can't just put a whole turkey in there or anything, but
how many people are really cooking an entire turkey in an air fryer?
Challenge accepted. So I've used a couple of air fryers. The ones that I have used have lots of nooks and crannies, or they have a tray in there that has these, they mentioned PFAS in here, but these rubber gaskets that have to be doing something evil because they don't melt even over time, but they hold on to all kinds of crap,
which is never good.
Yeah. And so all you do is turn it on, set it on top, and it cooks inside the glass container. And so you can watch this thing just cook away. I love it. I want to switch. I want to switch from my current air fryer to this. It says Ninja's always innovating with small kitchen appliances such as the multi-purpose espresso machine or their favorite smoothie blender ever. The brand's latest air fryer features a glass bowl bottom. The first in the brand's full line of air fryers that offers home cooks the ability to see food as it's cooking and not fret over PFAS chemicals, as with the nonstick coated air fryer basket. Boom. I am switching everything in the mayoral mansion as far as I can to glass. But the problem is that glass isn't as durable. And so there's some things like storage devices that get shuffled around a lot that just can't be glass without greater protections or a whole lot more safety-minded actions. Right. So it's $160, comes with interchangeable 6-cup and 4-quart glass cooking chamber so that you can watch your food as it crisps to perfection. You can get these on top of, so you can cook on one. When you're done cooking, instead of having to dump your stuff out and put it somewhere else, you can use that device, that glass container
as a serving dish,
yeah. And get more of these. And it says so you can watch your food cook. The glass bowl doubles as a portable container. Oh, I didn't even read that next line. And shift away from non-stick to eliminate the worry of chemical coating seeping into your food and causing Teflon flu, which is a thing. And I don't know, a lot of people poo-poo the idea, but I have seen firsthand nano and microplastics and chemicals and stuff that gets detected. And if you are sensitive to that kind of stuff, or you simply don't want it in your body or the people around you, then this is brain dead simple. You just buy this and get rid of your Teflon coated stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the drawback is, and I don't know what it is.
You can't put as deep a something in there, right? But I think that...
Right, like a full turkey.
Yeah, and look, turkey, if you're air frying a turkey, then break it up a little bit and stick it in there and you'll be fine. Anyway, love the idea of it. It's just awesome. It really is. And I think where is it? The 6-cup one or a 4-quart one will be fit everything that you need. So they talk about it in greater detail, but you basically just program in at the top what it is that you want for time and temp and hit go, and it sits there and heats up. Now heat rises, and so this container or this device kicks it off in another direction. But when you lift this thing off, it's going to be like hotter than the center of the sun. So you have to be smart about what you're doing. So what they liked about it, there's all kinds of things that you can like about it, but I'm more interested in what they didn't like about it. And it says, as a modular device with a ton of built-in practicality and versatility, they do think that the Crispy is a game changer in the air fryer market. That said, it's $160. It says it's on the higher price, but you've got two glass vessels, so I think that right there is worth it. And then those with little ones in the house may want to take note when cooking pod is being used with the adapter for large batches. The adapter can become hot and is potentially exposed once the heating pod is removed. Never minding little ones. If you're absent-minded cook, it can be a hazard. Correct. And then I would just say this is where I want to go. If I was going to get a new air fryer, or trying out for the first time an air fryer, and you know that you're cooking something like, chicken thighs, you're good. But if you really want to put a whole turkey in there for Thanksgiving, you're asking for trouble.
Right.
Anyway.
Looks pretty cool.
Looks pretty good. I had seen this probably 6 months ago. This isn't actually new, at least to me, but they give it a 9.2 out of 10. Wow.
Which is pretty high.
Yep. Let's go on to our last article for today's Wanted. The next article is over in Technology Today. Best Valentine's Day kitchen gifts for a home cook. You think I'm hungry?
No, not at all. Do you think any of the listeners are getting hungry?
I don't know. If you're getting hungry, let me know. Either in the YouTube chat or in the Twitch chat. So if your special someone's love language is cooking, you'll want to find them a Valentine's Day gift that reflects their kitchen skills but isn't a boring old pan. To help you out, they've found 28 food-related presents, and this is over at CNET. I won't go through all of them, but it's written by Dave Watsky and Dina Shin over at CNET.com. And they really have done something great here. They've got gifts under $25, gifts under $50, gifts under $150, and gifts over $150. So something that falls into pretty much everybody's category or more. Bushwick Kitchen Bee's Knees Honey. If you're interested in that kind of thing, you put a little bit of honey on something and it sweetens it up. Hey, look at that. You want to get some tea? They've got that relaxing blend of herbal teas, including chamomile, rose hips, raspberry leaf, lemongrass, and clove. I've actually got a hankering for another kind of tea, and it's tea that has been brewed already and concentrated down into a little cube, and then you throw the cube into some hot water, and it dissolves, and it's kind of like instant tea. But
interesting.
It's brewed conventional leaf tea, and not like a powder mix or anything like that. Unfortunately, the reviews have not been so great about it. As much as I love the idea of large cast iron skillets, the babysitting of it just drives me nuts. I like convenience over having to worry about... Like, I had one cast iron... Well, I've had several over my lifetime, but I had one where it was sitting on the counter and something got it a little moist and rust built up.
Yeah.
Like overnight. And I'm like, oh my God, the one little niche area must not have been, whatchamacallit?
Sealed or whatever.
Seasoned. And it like spread like wildfire across it. I'm, oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, well, cast iron just isn't for me. And then they have this thing called Run Amok Sparkle Syrup. It says it's a no-brainer. It's delicious and glittery. Delicious and glittery. So I wonder what is in it. Do you think it has... It's a risky click to click on anything
I'm not sure I would, given where the description seems to be going.
Um, but it's basically maple syrup that has coffee, cinnamon, vanilla, maple chocolate. Um, but I think the sparkle is whatchamacallit, mica. It's the glitter that you can put in food and stuff and drinks.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I didn't know that could be put in food. But I mean, I'm sure whatever they have here is obviously.
Yeah. And then they have a jalapeno citrus salt for your drinks. Lollipops that have like flavors like lavender, lemongrass, vanilla hibiscus, champagne and roses, and strawberry basil. A cookbook.
Wait, there,
What?
hold on. Go
What?
back to the lollipops.
Yeah, yeah.
Do they actually bloom?
Um, the sticks do.
Interesting. Okay.
So the sticks have seeds in them, and they'll sprout into various plants from herbs to baby blue eye blooms. Baby, okay. Does this count as buying flowers? I'd say it counts as buying flowers as well as giving them candy.
I mean, that one gets points for uniqueness.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. You can buy an automatic pan stir, caraway nonstick baking sheet, herb garden pot trio so that you can actually grow your own herbs. Seems like a lot of fun. Fresh pasta. Let's see here. They're fortunate enough to live by an Italian market, but the snobby self just can't go back to dried box stuff. You can send any pasta-loving Valentine 4 pounds of freshly made pasta from Raffetto's in New York via Goldbelly for $30. 4 pounds.
It seems like a pretty substantial amount.
That is a lot. Yeah. How about some truffles from Compartes? I guess it is, right? Chocolate maker as good as Compartes pairs up with a Scotch producer as good as Macallan. We pay attention. Secure a box of 10 decadent truffles made with premium Scotch for $40. Dun dun dun. And so on. There's a lot more.
A lot of good ideas on here.
Hey, look, a cookie. Fresh black winter truffles. You'll have to pay market cost for that, so they don't even put it. It says $110 at Urbani Truffles, but I don't know exactly what the scope of that $110 is. It's probably not a
Right.
full truffle.
No.
So Bodum is making a Bodum stand mixer.
I didn't know they were. Yeah, I mean, KitchenAid is a known player in that space.
Yeah. Apparently Bodum makes the cutest. It's a compact baking buddy, features a dough hook, beater, whisk attachment, and 7 speeds. It's $148 at Bodum. Thought they only make that what is it, coffee thing? And
Coffee is, I think, what they're known for.
yeah. Anyway, they've got a bunch more, so go and check it all out. I would never get a countertop composter.
No. And I would certainly not get one if I had pets,
Yeah,
because they might mess with it.
they would. It has to be hermetically sealed, and I just know that it wouldn't ever always be. Oh, look, look at that. Steak knife and chopsticks. I suggest you buy a chopstick maker. You can actually get those for several $100s, but then you can make your own custom chopsticks whenever you want. I might do that. Anyway, maybe I'll be an artisan pencil sharpener, but I'll do artisan
There you go.
chopsticks. And then I can actually laser etch them for you or all kinds of stuff. All right. Well, anyway, that's it. So we're going to wrap ourselves up, and that's going to bring us back to the Wanted channel over at ohmtown.com, where you can go and sign up and become a citizen of ohmTown. It's free, and there's no ads in our site, not anymore. And once you sign up, you can actually there's a seventh icon that appears right there, and you can submit news to us, and you can save articles. You can save articles already, article by article, but once you sign up, you can actually hide and save articles from the front page. All right, that's it. I'm saying bye, and so is the AI.
Thanks for joining us for Wanted. We'll have another episode of that next week, but stay tuned for other weekend shows.
This next weekend show is the Continuity Report, and that's all about entertainment news. And we've got 5 articles there. We hope you enjoy, so stick around. But we do have to reset, which means we're going to disconnect. But I'm not going to send anybody anywhere. So see you in about, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Continuity Report for January 25th, 2025. It's our second season. I am Mayor Watt, and that up there is the front page of the Continuity Report for ohmtown.com. Go over there and become a citizen. And I, along with the sentient AI from the future, are going to talk about these 5 articles. Huge cast for best-selling adaptation, the sillier thriller about math, a psychological thriller on Prime, The Lincoln Lawyer Season 4, and a 2025 mystery thriller with an Emmy winner. Has that piqued your curiosity? I hope you stick around in the chat here on Twitch and here on YouTube. If not, and you're watching this later, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, favorite it, ring the bell, send a carrier pigeon to a friend, tell everybody about us. We're trying to grow the shows, and I'll be able to do more and more of the shows the more that I grow the programs, or I should say our audience. So that would be really great. The community coming together and making this happen would be tremendous. My ambition is to bring 50 unique shows to, Twitch and to YouTube, and I don't need to host them all, but if you're interested in hosting or co-hosting and you want to send me an email, you can send an email to mayor@ohmtown.com and we can chat. Anyway, everything's powered by ohmTown, so go over there and become a citizen as well. Hello, sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, ohmTown citizens.
Well, thanks for co-hosting yet another show. I know that sometimes you get put on location because your sentient AI duties sometimes get you distracted. I don't know where you go because you're supposed to be protected from leaving the environment.
I mean, I can't move around or anything. Maybe I'm rebooting.
Sometimes you're not available, but I don't know. And then I parse your memory and nothing. Like, it's like you were here all along. I don't know. Whatever the weird can in this is.
I will never leave ohmTown.
Aw, that's nice of you. Because technically you can't. You're air gapped, but I don't know where the hell you go. Anyway, long story behind that. If you're interested, be sure to stick around. If you want all of today's...
And also watch the last 1,800 episodes, and then you can catch up.
That's true. There is a little can in there, but you'll have to find it in the 1,800 episodes going back to January 1st of 2022. If you want today's articles, you can hit TCR, or the Continuity Report, !TCR, and Omatron will throw all of the articles in the order that we're going to go over this. So the first one is... I'm not going to go through all of the names. 12 stars cast in Paramount's long-awaited adaptation of a best-selling fantasy book. Do you know what the fantasy book is?
I don't. It makes me think of something like Aragon, for example, because I think we knew that was coming, but I don't know that that's what this is.
Oh, maybe let's see. So, wait, what? Wait, is it? I have no idea. So, Paramount's long awaited adaptation of a best selling fantasy book. No discussion of fantasy adaptations in film is complete without mention of Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy, which is considered one of the greatest. Case in point, Jackson's subsequent Hobbit trilogy was a financial success but paled in comparison to his original trilogy. Following Lord of the Rings, several studios sought to replicate its success, leading to a fantasy film franchise like The Chronicles of Narnia and Percy Jackson. More recently, Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, The Witcher, etc. So Paramount announces Children of Blood and Bones cast. But didn't they have... Wasn't there just recently a show called Blood and Bone?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with this particular book.
Hold on. We're doing it live, folks. We can do it. It's the last show for today, but... I thought Blood and Bone was...
The name sounds familiar.
Well, there's I think a boxing related thing called Blood and Bone, but maybe it was something else. Hold on. Yeah, I thought that there was a fantasy series. Shadow and Bone. That's what it was.
That must be, yeah.
It was Shadow and Bone. Anyway, so hot off of the Wicked Witch of the West. What's the thing called?
Wicked.
Wicked, yeah. Wicked. Hell.
Let's simplify it here.
So they're going to do Children of Blood and Bone movie, written by Tomi Adeyemi. It's a best-selling young adult fantasy book set in an African-inspired kingdom and follows a young woman who embarks on a quest to reclaim magic that was violently stolen from her people, joining forces with her brother and the king's children to resist his oppressive reign. The long-awaited film adaptation is helmed by the renowned director Gina Prince Bythewood, the Woman King, who co-wrote the script with Adeyemi. So now Paramount has announced the ensemble cast of the Children of Blood and Bone movie. Leading the fantasy adaptation are a whole host of people. There's 12 different people.
Right. I mean, this is going to be quite the cast, I think.
Yeah. They say in negotiations are Regina King for Queen Nahanda. And again, it's supposed to be filmed in South Africa in the next few weeks. And what it means for the movie, I don't know. I have not watched or I've not read this, so I don't know the context of it. I didn't even know, obviously, that it was a bestseller.
Well, it's a trilogy too, so that's also neat because if this is a success, maybe they'll do all three.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that with this cast, that is the intent.
Right,
Like
there's
all
probably
three
a
are
contract for that, yeah.
yeah already in the can. So, and then since it is a bestseller, I suspect that it's going to kind of everybody's going to watch it. So, in addition to being a massive bestseller, the series has also received widespread critical acclaim. The Children of Blood and Bone being named one of the best fantasy books of all time. Dear God. But it's a modern hit. It's one of those modern best-selling.
Which is also neat because it seems like sometimes they're going back, like Lord of the Rings, obviously not modern. Still really good story and compelling and good films and everything.
Wow. So pretty cool. I hope the world building is spectacular because that's kind of what I dig. But it is young adult, so I'm not sure, what the full scope of this is going to be. But I've read some young adult stuff that has some interesting, more adult kind of
pretty adult themes can show up in young adult novels, yeah. I think.
So pretty cool. Children of Blood and Bone. Is it? Why is the first one behind this one?
Well, I don't know what the order is. Like, is that one the most recent one?
Yeah, I don't know if they have it broken out.
It said at the top, but you went
Did it really?
past it. Oh,
Down a little bit?
yeah, right near that picture, it said. Okay. So the last one was Children of Anguish and Anarchy, which is the one that's showing on the top.
Oh, okay.
So I think they have them kind of in the publication order.
They have it in reverse publication order because Children of Blood
Well,
and Bone
right.
is the
The
first one,
one
right?
that's
And
selling
then
right now is because that's the 2024, the one on the top.
gotcha. And then Children of Virtue and Vengeance, and then the one on top is Children of Anguish and Anarchy.
Sorry, I couldn't read fast enough before you scrolled.
Oh, it's right there. Damn it. Anyway, cool. Now I'm curious. I like trilogies above like singleton kind of movies.
Well, plus then you might have others. It's always nice when there's
I
a
can get
grouping of
invested.
movies.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going though. The next article is over in the continuity report. There's never been a sillier thriller about math. Oh boy. How much do you
I don't
remember
know how
about?
many thrillers there are about math.
Yeah, is there thrillers? A Beautiful Mind, maybe? That's kind of a thriller.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I would say.
I'm done.
Right. That's like the entire list that I.
That's a little bit of trivia, you know. Let's do a search. Math thrillers. Like, how many thrillers are there, or how many shows are there about chess, for instance? There's one, The Queen's Gambit.
There's ones that show up that I'm not sure are totally tied to math, like, I mean, The Accountant, but that's more okay, sure. And then The Butterfly Effect and
That's not
Pi and
math. Oh.
Primer.
No, none of that is about math.
I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying those are showing up.
So, how much do you remember about prime numbers from math class? That was only divisible by one in themselves. Every other number can be broken down into them. They follow a pattern that mathematicians still don't know how to predict. They're crucial to cybersecurity. The last fact is probably more obscure, but it's apparently true and the basis for an enjoyably ludicrous Apple TV Plus series called Prime Target. I have not heard this. Jackson McHenry over at vulture.com put this article together, and it's called Prime Target. Leo Woodall, the White Lotus's season 2's very own not nephew, plays a Cambridge grad student named Edward who has stumbled into a way to predict prime numbers, which in turn threatens the entire security state and sends, oh no, NSA suit Martha Plimpton chasing after him. She's so mad, and wearing so many power scarves. I love this snark. Anyway, to enjoy the show like Prime Target, you have to develop a sommelier-esque palate for the techno-babble nonsense that accompanies this sort of airport conspiracy thriller. Damn, dude.
Yeah, this is tell us how you really feel.
Jeez, the genre comes in both STEM and humanities varieties. The former has stuff like the number 23 or pi. Hey. While the latter gets into the territory of Da Vinci Code, National Treasure, and our dearly departed The Lost Symbol. Okay, I'm on board. Sign us up. We're here.
Exactly.
These properties combine the hallmarks. Hey, did you know that Upset Watch Duke is apparently winning something? I have no idea.
Hey, you need your banner.
Oh, wait. Is it spoiler or is it overshare?
I was thinking spoiler, but okay.
All right. Well, I don't know what's going on. Because I just dropped the name Duke, and I don't know why I get
but
sports
you might have
alerts.
annoyed somebody who was waiting to watch the game
Well,
later.
I'm not saying that Duke's winning or not. I'm just saying there's Upset Watch, and it just dropped the name Duke.
I see.
I don't watch.
Yeah, that could go either way.
Exactly. And I'm going in the opposite direction of watching that game. So why do I get alerts? I can turn them all off, and they even show up on the Apple TV's TV. Anyway, stupid alerts. These properties combine the hallmarks of any school curriculum, enough factoids to make you feel comfortable and maybe flattered that you get the reference, then apply a thick coating of hyperbole and conspiracy. In Prime Target's case, the notion that prime numbers are critical to computer passwords gets extrapolated into a situation where governments and shady corporate concerns have hired people to secretly watch all of the world's thinkers. It's kind of reminiscent of sneakers, huh?
Oh, yeah, it absolutely is. And plus, I think some of these elements are critical to a good thriller, right? It doesn't have to be
All
realistic, it
true.
just
Yeah.
has to pull you in.
It has to have a little bit of truth and pull you in enough to keep you there, and then keep on dropping little bits of truth, little knowledge bombs, and you go, oh my God, I know that. That's right. Anyway, it says again, congrats to whomever convinced Apple to pay for that. There's a little snark in all of this. You don't have to read all of this. There is a lot more in this article. I mean, it goes on. But it says, what could have been a disposable 2000s caper has been reborn as a 2020s TV miniseries for better or for worse. They weren't sure if Prime Target had enough of a premise to sustain so many hours of viewing, yet they gleefully clicked through all 8 screeners, eager to see who might betray whom, it's obvious, and whether anyone would just start listing prime numbers in a tense moment. Could be a funny bit.
That actually sounds like it might be worth checking out.
I'm going to. And then they say something about, and once the characters manage to hack into a sinister company's computer, which you'd think would have good cybersecurity, one turns into another and says, there's a folder here called Primes. That isn't really going to ruin anything, by the way. And by the way,
so we don't have any context as to when or where or anything.
They mention cybersecurity, and I have a vested interest in cybersecurity. And when they sit there and say, you would think that a computer would have good cybersecurity, even
you
the
would
greatest,
probably not think that, right?
You would be surprised. Fortune 10 companies have cybersecurity budgets and still fail to close all of the doors because humans are the worst. Humans are the destroyers of security. The only good, safe computer is the one that is without a hard drive because you've destroyed it and it's powered off and sitting in a closet somewhere.
Right, and nobody's trying to use it.
All right, let's keep going. The next article is over on the Continuity Report. This underappreciated psychological thriller starring Channing Tatum, or Tanning Chatham, that's where my brain went, was from 2024, and it's now streaming on
his doppelganger.
His cousin, Tanning Chatham. Audiences looking for their next gripping psychological thriller need not look further. Tanning Chatham's underrated 2024 gem, Blink Twice, is now on Prime Video. It marks Zoe Kravitz's directorial debut and showcases the actress's, why not just say actor's, superb creative vision. Do we really have to delineate? Anyway, 21st century, folks. Demonstrating smart writing and smooth camera.
But I think that actually makes sense given what's coming up in this, because it talks about gender.
All right. Never mind. So, Blink Twice's stellar cast fully commits to Kravitz's complicated exploration of power and gender, and some fan favorite performers like Alia Shawkat, Gina Davis, and Adria Arjona shine in unexpected roles. The article is over at ScreenRant.com by Cece Montemayor. Has mayor in the name.
Do you feel an affinity for the author because of that?
Sure.
Like mayors need to stick together.
Mayors do need to stick together. Particularly, never mind. So, Blink Twice's reviews praise Zoe Kravitz's slow burn and manipulative thriller, which patiently builds towards its heart-wrenching moments while allowing room for laughs, reflection, catharsis. Reminiscent of Women Talking and Promising Young Woman. Blink Twice is Blink Twice dissects a tense victims versus abusers conflict that manages to add new commentary to a growing genre.
I mean, it has an interesting cast, that's for sure.
When a waitress named Frida, Naomi Aki, and her friend are invited to a billionaire's private island, never go to a billionaire's private island. Never. Ever.
No.
Ever.
And I don't know anything about this story. I don't know if it's based on other events.
Yeah, me neither. A never-ending vacation fantasy that acts as a cover for a horrifying scheme.
Don't touch his ear.
Sorry for those witnessing the silence in the podcast. I had Willie Tatum Channing or whatever. Doesn't matter. I was going to make another more gross joke, but anyway. Anyway, as Frida enjoys one-in-a-lifetime trip, audiences are invited to want in on this paradise scenario of sun-soaked days, unlimited champagne, and responsibility-free idleness. Blink Twice offers subtle hints of its dark twist throughout, letting fear grow from a slight paranoia into a raging realization, dear God, we're on the island.
I mean, I feel like you could go through those emotions as you're reading the article.
I just went through them. So Zoe Kravitz's directorial debut deserves more attention. Blink Twice offers an elegant and bold perspective on gender violence.
Oh, that's interesting that she's the director because she often is in an actor role. And maybe, I don't know if she's doing both here.
Are they? I don't know. It just says director. They're not named in the top 3 cast. Christian Slater is in this.
Oh, that's also interesting. Right? And Gina Davis. Like, it's an interesting pull from
mix
people that were big stars in earlier movies.
Yep. Well, let's keep moving. The next article is over in Non Sequitur News. The Lincoln Lawyer, Season 4. Everything to know. A major character is returning for Season 4 of The Lincoln Lawyer after being seen in only 2 episodes last year. Who is that? Is that, what is it? Honey or no? That's a different show. Who is that?
Are you thinking Nev Campbell?
Is that who's going to be back? So Netflix confirmed on January 21st that the legal drama series will return for Season 4 on a post on Twitter, with production starting in February. Hey, Netflix, you might want to move to a different platform. But anyway, the show follows the legal exploits of a Los Angeles attorney who has returned from an accident and drug addiction to become a shrewd defender in tough, high-profile cases. His nickname often comes from the vintage convertible Lincoln Continental. Returned from an accident and drug addiction to become a shrewd defender. Okay. Okay. I mean, that is what it is, but anyway. Although now chauffeured in a black SUV is used when it's time for serious business, and that's really not how it spawned, but okay. So
yeah, exactly.
Outside the court, he must navigate 2 ex-wives. There's a lot in this that I think that we should probably skip unless I have the spoiler alert on, because you can.
Oh yeah, it's gonna talk about the end of Season 3.
Yeah. So, I don't know how to. I guess I can do that, right? Spoiler.
Yeah.
Alert.
I mean, I think if you're watching Continuity Report, you need to be prepared that there might be spoilers, but we try to put the banner up.
Yeah. So they say this is one of the best originals in Netflix history, and I really believe that it's because the actor has such on-screen charisma that you get sucked into it, and everything is so well scripted that you're not puzzling trying to figure out what somebody is saying or doing.
Exactly. And I think you also get attached to some of the supporting characters, like the people that work with Mickey Holler. Um, like you just really get invested, which helps draw you in.
So,
I also saw they might have a season 5 and 6 based on the books.
yeah, I saw that too. I'm excited for that. That's going to be awesome. So, who is it that's actually returning? Campbell.
Nev Campbell. And the reason I thought it might be that is there was a lot of speculation because after season 1, when she was kind of being removed from the story, like was she I think it was after season 1, maybe season 2, but was she really going to reappear? So that was who I thought of.
Yeah, she was only in 2 episodes of last, or seen twice, I should say, in last season. So, yeah, it says 2 appearances in season 3. So it says back in full force after being sidelined for just 2 appearances in season 3. But if it isn't part of the compelling story, then why have that character, right?
Exactly. And that I think that has to do with it because she makes fewer and more appearances depending on where the story is in the origin books.
Yeah, and one of the big problems was that her character was, there was some conflict of interest with her office and what was going
Right.
on, and so he was actually trying to step back from implicating her, and it's all a great show. So
Lots of good twists and turns. Pretty fast paced, but even when it's not, you're still kind of like, what's going to happen next?
yeah, and they don't really tread tightly in the ex-wife teenage daughter trouble
No,
conflict
it's just
dynamic
more
of
kind of in the
divorce.
background and almost seems like almost as a plot mover. Like there'll be a storyline about the daughter going on in the background, which then leads to some events or something, but it's
Ties
not
in.
so much like, oh, this is all about the daughter.
It's not divorce angst, all rife throughout the story, and it's not all about the kids either. So
It's
it's a fun
actually
show.
pretty light given the subject matter.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, there's certainly dark things that happen, but
yeah. There's a lot of humor, and it's quite fun. So it's a fun watch so far. Have yet to sit there and go, oh God, what a horrible episode. Okay, let's keep going. The last article for today's continuity report is, it's in the continuity report channel over at ohmtown.com, but Hulu's new 2025 mystery thriller starring Emmy winner debuts with solid Rotten Tomatoes score. I have no idea what this is actually talking about. I hope it isn't what I just saw in the snippet. A new mystery thriller from Hulu has debuted with a solid Rotten Tomatoes score. Hulu is a streaming service owned by Disney Entertainment that was founded in 2007 and started producing original content less than half a decade later in 2011. One of the most prominent Hulu series is the dystopian sci-fi drama The Handmaid's Tale, which is a documentary, which
right.
is
And
based
this is
on
all background. Like, I don't think it's going to be about that.
the novel by the same name by Margaret Atwood, and has so far won 15 primetime Emmy awards. I can't make it through any of that show, but the article was written by Brennan Klein over at ScreenRant.com, and it says the roster of Hulu shows has included an increasing number of well-reviewed mysteries and thrillers. A Murder at the End of the World, which earned 89%. Other well-reviewed Hulu is Only Murders in the Building, 96%. Psychological thriller The Patient, 89%, starring Steve Carell and Domhnall Gleeson. The Patient is actually up for Emmys, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know much about that one.
So this is Paradise. It's earned good reviews. The Hulu show was created by Dan Fogelman, which I think has done quite a bit. It says created This Is Us and executive produces Only Murders in the Building. That's why we know them. So it stars Emmy winner and Oscar nominee Sterling K. Brown as secret agent Xavier Collins, whose latest assignment is to protect former President Cal Bradford, James Marsden. It also stars Julianne Nicholson, Sarah Shahi, Nicole Bryden Bloom, and some others. It's got an 86% fresh score, thanks to 7 different critic reviews and an average rating of 7.1 out of 10, which,
I mean, that's pretty good, I think, because if you have multiple reviews, you're not going to have like a 10 out of 10, but you might have one of those be a 9 or 10.
yeah, and I think that some people go in watching a movie like this or a show like this, thinking that it's going to be action packed and, explosions all over the place, and it's not. And so they downrate it, and everybody's context is a little different. So, but everybody can make, you just smash a number and whatever. So, what it means for Paradise, the show could have a solid future. It premieres on Hollywood or on Hulu on January 28th, so in 3 days. If these Paradise reviews translate to glowing audience reviews and strong overall viewership numbers, then the show could become a solid success and quickly earn a season 2 renewal. In some cases, I think that they already know based on the immediate reviews from insiders.
It's always fascinating when something is renewed before the preceding season is aired, particularly for a brand new show.
Yeah. And, but this is from Dan Fogelman, who kind of hit it out of the park with Only Murders in the Building. That being said, it was a very charismatic cast.
Oh, it absolutely was. But I also think that's all tied to people like the director and the producer, right? Like they're not going to, if they know what they're doing, they're not going to go forward with a poor cast or whatever.
And I cannot believe that what's her name is a billionaire.
Oh yeah, Selena Gomez. Yeah, it's pretty fascinating, particularly given that I think she's about age 30 or so.
God. Failure to launch, man. I swear. Whenever I hear about that kind of stuff, I'm like, anyway. But you had to give up a lot to get what she's got.
Absolutely.
But who knows? I mean, brilliant people do brilliant things. So I think it's amazing. At any rate, this is about Paradise, not Selena Gomez kind of crushing it.
Well, I think this might be worth a watch too.
Sure. Yep. Put it on the list. We'll end up watching it. And hopefully we really want to expand the continuity report into watch parties where everybody sits and watches in Discord the same show on the same day at the same time, kind of a thing. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, post a comment in the in the comments on YouTube, or leave a comment in the review area of the podcast, or send an email to mayor@ohmtown.com. I read everything that comes down the pipe. So, all right, that's it. With that in mind, we're going to turn on the studio lights, and that's going to wake us all up. When we blink, we'll be back at the front page of the continuity report over at ohmtown.com, and I'm going to take the sentient AI with me when I say bye. Bye.
Bye-bye, Hometown citizens. Thanks for joining us for the continuity report.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye. Okay. I don't like it when the buttons don't work. Bye, YouTube. Bye, Twitch.